name is Holly, and I decided to make the blog to describe my journey through nutrition to see if I can't help myself. I've tried many things off and on. I've tried acupuncture. I've tried eating certain foods. I've tried just about everything. And a little bit about myself is I'm now 34. I have retinitis pigmentosa. I was born with that genetic disease. Recently this year, I was diagnosed with posterior subcapsular cataracts. That's a mouthful to say. And it's been a little depressing, to say the least. I noticed it, I would say, probably about 2.5, 3 years ago. I started to notice more deterioration in my vision than I normally had. I went many years in my 20s with no problems. I had bad vision in the dark, and there were things I still couldn't see, but I could still read a book, kind of. I could still write on paper. There were things that I could still do, like get places on my own, read signs. So I went through this for a long time with not a lot of deterioration, and it made me happy. Well, of course, life happens and stress has happened, and over the past 3 to 5 years, it's been a little hectic, to say the least. A lot of hectic. Family deaths and things like that, and the stress kind of got high. Well, about 2.5 years ago, I started massage school because it was a job that I could do. So I got excited. My best friend really encouraged me, and she told me, it'd be something great for you because I want to be independent. I don't want to be this way. I don't want to rely on other things, to do things for me. I want to be as independent as I can. I want to be like everyone else. So I started school, and then I had already had a little bit of fogginess before I had started school, but I didn't think anything of it. Blurriness, but I could still kind of see. But as school started, it got worse. Like I couldn't read anything. I couldn't read books. I couldn't write on paper. Everything was washed out. Everything just looked terrible for me, and I didn't understand. I thought, man, it's my RP. It's making this really bad, and I don't know how I can fix this. I've gone to do acupuncture twice. I did a TES study where we used electric, I guess you could say electric use, like the TENS unit kind of things, where it was a wire and it was meant to stimulate the optic nerve. I did that. It worked a little, but it wasn't permanent. So I had been through the ringer with all this stuff leading up to this point, and it still was getting worse. And so a long time ago, I had read about this man named Dr. Price Todd, and I had found him. And in the middle of my acupuncture, I had actually taken the IMAX Plus formula, which he has created for people like with multiple different types of eye conditions. He was a doctor of nutrition and ophthalmology, and I couldn't really tell if it was effective or not because I was taking herbs and herbal supplements from my Chinese doctor at the same time, which probably wasn't a good idea. So I didn't really get a good perspective. It never hurt me. I just never got a good perspective on what the effects truly were. So recently, I was told that I could receive surgery, and as exciting as that is, I really don't like surgery, and I really don't want to do surgery, and it's going to cost $4,200 to do the surgery because I don't have insurance. I know I could be on Medicaid or whatnot, but most of the time they don't pay for that. And it's a headache that I really don't want to deal with. So the cost without insurance is $4,200, which is pretty affordable nowadays, and the risk rate has gone down a lot from what I've understood. It's just, I really want to try this. I really want to try this without surgery. I want to see what I can do for myself and see if I can't help myself. And through this, I purchased the lecture about cataracts. I had already listened to the RP lecture from Gary a while ago, but a lot of it I've kind of lost, and I'd have to go back and repurchase it and listen to it again. And because when I first listened to it, it was free, but now they charge, and I understand why. But anyway, I need to go back and listen to the RP one. I mean, it's all based on nutrition, so generally speaking, it's a matter of how much, how much of vitamins you need and things like that. But anyway, on the lecture, he mentioned this protocol that he did for somebody with my condition, the posterior subcapsular cataracts. And what is fascinating to me is that someone with my condition, I found out is usually somebody on steroids for a long duration of time, which I'm not. And then somebody who's diabetic, and I'm not diabetic, but again, this could be related to my RP. But I have always had some hypoglycemic issues. So, listening to the lecture, I decided to try this. I've started small. I haven't gotten the IMAX Plus yet. I'm going to be getting that soon. But I decided to go ahead and start with some of the other vitamins and minerals that he recommended that I needed to have for my condition specifically. So he mentioned in the video that he recommends this thing called GTF chromium because of someone with my condition. It's imperative. You need to have it. And I didn't know this was important. I had no idea all these minerals like niacin and riboflavin were such basically a deficiency here in America, in the soil, and it's just like a whole other mess that I could go into that would take way too long to kind of describe, and this video would be taking forever. But anyway, I'm going to try to keep this short and somewhat reasonable. But I found out my selenium could be low. My acupuncturist in New Jersey recommended me to do glutathione, and he was concerned because we don't absorb glutathione very well. Well, I found out from Dr. Todd that, Gary, that inadequate levels of selenium can make it to where glutathione can't be produced in the body, and you can't create it, make it. And I wasn't ever told that, and I didn't know that. And there's just like all these little puzzle pieces that are kind of like clicking together as this goes on. And, and I found out how low our levels of selenium are here in America. And I learned about all these things that I'm deficient in. And I just didn't realize how bad it was. I didn't realize that I eat healthy for the most part and how much I'm still not getting. I didn't realize that the eye is the most abundant source of vitamin C, the organ in the body that contains the most vitamin C. I didn't know that, and yet I know for a fact that I barely get the RDA of vitamin C a day. So I just didn't realize all these things. So I started my journey 3 days ago. I know I'm starting late. I probably should have started it on the first day, but I didn't. I decided that I was going to blog this because it would be good for people to maybe look on this and say, hey, maybe that's something that I can try. And it's an option, for people. And I know that these resources are all out there now, but sometimes people don't know that. Sometimes people don't have that. Maybe they don't know, like I did for the longest time. It took me forever to find these things because when I was younger, we didn't have all this stuff. So, but anyway, 3 days ago, I started taking the Solar A I hope I can't see well. So, the Solar A GTF Chromium is made from brewer's yeast. It does have magnesium stearate in it. I'm assuming for freshness. But I got this one because it was literally just yeast. So it's the actual GTF Chromium. It's not just the pieces that make up it. Like, expecting our bodies to create it itself, when he informed in the lecture that people with diabetes or with this condition generally can't create this on their own from the building pieces, as you will. So I got this. It got really good reviews. I like it. I don't get any weird side effects. Nothing strange. In the lecture, he mentioned to take 3. Now, I don't have diabetes, so I decided to start my protocol with 2. He said 4 bottles, and I'm going to stick to that 4 bottles. He said 60 caplets. I think this has 60. No, this is 200. This is 200 caps. So I have a little while, about 4 months worth is what I need to take, essentially. So I will be monitoring that for 4 months and seeing where I'm at. But I like this stuff. So Solar A does good. I really recommend this brand. Then in the lecture, he mentioned, of course, like I said, the vitamin C. I didn't start the vitamin C until yesterday. I wanted to give my body a couple of days to see what this would do for me. And I did notice something yesterday, actually. Yesterday I noticed that the light seemed different. When I went for a walk with my friend, I go walking almost every day. And when I was walking, I noticed that it kept looking, and it was cloudy. And it kept looking like there was this, like the sun was beaming, like there was a beam of light trying to come through the clouds, and it was going this way across my vision. And it's my right eye that has most of the cataract damage. So, but my left eye does have cataracts, but they're not as bad. But I just noticed this extra beam, even in my right vision. Like when I would turn, I would have the same. It looked like the sun was trying to beam through the sky and look over. So I was really confused. I didn't understand. And it's interesting to me because there are things that I have noticed already, and I don't know if it's my vision is understanding light better because of this stuff, because this is the only difference that I've had, I doubt the vitamin C kicked in already. It could have, but I doubt it. So I had been taking this for 2 days prior to yesterday. So, this really helps. And I don't know if it's helping with my inflammation, but I certainly know that it is definitely helping with my metabolism, which I know that's what it's primarily for. But I feel better. My mood is elevated. I feel like I'm normal. And I know that's really kind of a rough statement to say, but I feel like I'm normal, I feel like I'm functioning better. My brain is clearer. And if it did do that for me already, that's crazy. But then I went ahead and got this yesterday. It's called Cal. I don't know if the label is, yeah, there. I think that's the label. If it's not, I'm sorry. It's called Cal, and it's literally just, I try to go as nutrition based as I can, as in like food based. So this has, from what she read to me, it has blueberries, raspberries, acerola cherries. It's basically made up of a bunch of berries and fruits and stuff like that. That has tons of vitamins. So it's concentrated. This is 300 milligrams of vitamin C per teaspoon. And right now I'm probably at, I haven't taken my dosage today yet. I'm taking around 500 milligrams, which he recommends. That's optimal of vitamin C per day. I'm thinking I may eventually work my way up to 1,000 a day. But right now I'm kind of weaning myself and seeing what my body can do for at least the at least the 4 bottles or the 4 months worth of this GTF, just so that I can see where I'm at and not overload myself. I know that that may alter the protocol, and I'm aware of that, but yeah, I think it'd probably be the smarter thing for me. I'm kind of deduced to see what results I get slowly. I have not started my vitamin E. He recommends taking around 200 to, I believe, 500 perhaps units of vitamin E, natural, a day. I have not gotten that yet, but I will do that after I've been on the vitamin C a few days to see kind of how my body reacts. So that's my next step. So I am really excited that I've already noticed some things. This morning, I actually woke up and the fogginess has really kind of gone down. I'm not saying it's perfect, but it's definitely gone down. So I don't know where I would be had I done the actual protocol, but I think that I'm just excited to be on this journey and kind of see where it goes. So I'm sorry the blog was a little long this time. I just kind of feel like I needed to get my story kind of out there so that people understood where I was coming from and what my point was and what I was trying to do. If anybody has any suggestions of good natural sources of these things that they feel might be good, or alternatives, or if they know anything about these kinds of things, then I would be happy to listen. But right now, these ones seem to be working really good for me. If anyone knows a good vitamin E brand that's natural, not synthetic, that would be good too. I'm not expecting a whole lot of response in the beginning, but yeah. So that's my kind of goal right now. And I will probably blog again in a couple of days or so. So there it is. Wish me luck.